Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Wednesday edition of the Ravens Outpost. Tonight's going to be a little short. I'm not going to run very long tonight. Trying out StreamYard again. It's been a while. Seeing how things work out. You see that fancy dancy background I've got back there. I really do need a green screen. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, yeah, it's still there. But if I lower the light just a little bit, that's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Oh yeah. Switch the colors though. If I switch the colors, man, it's a different deal. Ooh. I don't know if you can hear me clicking the button or not. Well, hey Ray, how you doing tonight? Sorry. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Got a new light. I know I probably should have. Hey Rick, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Mean as hell as always, Ray. Hell yeah. There we go. So like I said, as you guys can tell, I'm on StreamYard. Thinking seriously about putting the money down to, sub to it for a little while anyway. My biggest thing is trying to justify dropping them bills, man. Hey. The only time I really use this is when I usually intend to have guests on, or we're going to chit chat like that. I've got somebody lined up for Friday. Hopefully I can get my buddy Buck on. Buck, if you see this, I'm going to holler at you here pretty quick and see if you want to come on, and maybe we can shoot the breeze. And I might ask my niece if she'd come on too. If, I'd really like for her to come on. I actually have two of them I would love to have to come on. The third one. My nephew's twin sister just had a baby. She had a baby this morning. A little boy. Cute as a button, man. I call myself that. Yeah. Some people call me that too. Hey, yeah, man, I really dropped the ball tonight. How do I sound out there in TV land and YouTube land? Am I coming through clear? Am I too loud? Let's see. All right, cool. Oh, babies accused, especially when it belongs to someone else. Yeah, I hear you. Good. It's all right. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, tonight I titled the episode Bigfoot, Ghosts, and UFOs, The Lonely Journey of the Experiencer. And it's been really, bugging me about how that fear really affects people. And I sit back and I talk about how I don't care what people think. And for the most part, I don't. Random people I don't know, I could give a damn what they think. But usually when it comes to my family and close friends, yeah, I really do. I'd be lying to you and everybody else if I, if I said it didn't bother me that that they didn't believe me and would make fun of the stories I'm telling, and I'm not telling stories. I'm telling truth. Shit actually happened, and I've listened to stories, and we've went over this in episodes past about how people will hold stuff in forever. Sometimes they'll take shit to their grave. But it's a lonely road, man, when you're carrying around this stuff and you can't share it with anybody. It's it's like you have this big secret you're busting to tell somebody, but if you tell somebody, that somebody is just going to totally reject you. Now, when you're not normally used to that type of rejection, man, it could be scary as hell. And when you're not able to actually have a meaningful conversation with someone regarding your experience or what experience they might have had, or that's lonely. You get a sense of isolation, and you could be in a room full of people and busting at the seams to talk about something, but all of a sudden you just realize you don't have nothing else to talk about. So sometimes you just walk away. A lot of people, they isolate themselves and shut themselves down. The PTSD kicks in if they've had a horrible encounter. And you can go downhill fast. I went back and listened to a story Wes told about the state trooper. I think he was in Oklahoma. And he had a run-in with a dog man. And it freaked him out. And he couldn't talk about it with anybody. And according to the story that Wes told, the poor fellow wound up drinking himself to death. That's sad. I mean, you don't have anybody to talk to. Now, my nieces and nephews, all of them, have had something happen to them. Whatever this, I don't know whether it's a genetic thing, or it could be like we've talked about in the past, it's a vibrational thing, which could be a genetic thing. So, you all know that I had an uncle pass away last week. We laid him to rest last Friday. It was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. But the day it happened early in the morning on a Monday morning, and my mom could sense that something was wrong. Now, my mom, she's a precognitive. She can sense when something's wrong, especially when it has to do with the kinfolk. But it's really weird that I have had paranormal experiences. My nieces have had paranormal experiences. My nephew, excuse me, oh no. My nephew has a strong interest, and I do believe he's had his own paranormal experiences. And he is so rooted. And Bubba, I'm not dissing you. If you're watching this, I love you, you know it. Okay? But he's so rooted in show me the facts that when actual things take place, sometimes he rationalizes it to the point to where he can dismiss it. Sometimes it is what it is. You're absolutely right. I like that. Standing in the nil. Yeah. This is one thing I do like about this feature that I can't do with my other platform. And that is absolute truth. It's a whole different ball game. I mean, the wool is pulled off of your eyes. The indoctrination that we've been subject to for many years. Some of us now, since birth, is pulled off of our eyes, and we're left there standing looking around like, what the hell just happened? It is a survival instinct because there's so much that our brain can process when how do we put it, Ray? Our world gets turned upside down. When that happens, and Rick, I like what you said. Kind of a short circuit. That's the only other thing that I can describe it as a short circuit. I've seen so many researchers who have, and I use that term loosely. I don't really like the term, but a lot of these people, that's what they like to be called. So I'll respect that. It's what it is. But there's a lot of people who've been in the field who've had that happen to them, have been able to overcome that, and once they're able to overcome it, once they're able to examine everything, and they realize that what happened to them isn't normal. And when I'm saying researchers, you notice I didn't put Bigfoot in front of that, because you have paranormal researchers out there that research ghostly phenomena, demonic, angelic, UFO phenomena, and cryptid phenomena. It's all under that same umbrella, and I will refuse to differentiate. You've got different categories, but it's all under one banner. And the normies out there who refuse, to listen to reason, they don't understand it. And to them, all of us are kooks. And that's fine. That's true. It's true. I also believe that the propaganda was stacked so hard against Trump when he was running for president in 2020 or 2019 that let's face it, and bringing politics into this yet again, it's easy to draw parallel similarities between what's going on here. I mean, you've got your tribalism, okay, and it takes root in everything. I had a friend, and especially with the political crap, okay, I have a friend who she was part of this group. They did knitting, right? And they'd get online. They do a big Discord thing. They were on Discord doing a video chat with everybody, and they were showing their they show their quilts or whatever they're making, right? And this group is also on Facebook. So political ideology got so embedded into that group, people were being ejected for their ideas. That's it. Just for their beliefs. Not for what they did in the knitting circle, but for what they believed. Unbelievable. There we go. When you say it took me decades to come to terms with it, I've experienced so many ghosts and spirits it doesn't faze me as much. Right. And it's sad that we have to deal with that. And usually, for the most part, we have to deal with it alone. That's a lonely road. And it can work on you. Especially when you have other outside forces contributing to your loneliness. And I'm no psychologist. I'm only speaking from my own perspective, what I've been going through, what it does to your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. I mean, it has an impact on everything if you let it. And some people are dragged down to the point to where they feel like they're a prisoner. Now me, I had that happen. I was beaten down and I was weak. I'm on 2 different types of blood pressure medication right now and trying to wean myself off of anxiety meds. Anxiety is so bad it's crippling. I mean, to the point where I can't do nothing. Yeah, quilts were once made as a means of communication. I mean, that's why they used to have what they used to call knitting circles, and I believe, this is what my friend was a part of. I think it's what it was called, and it used to be where it was a social gathering, and of course, primarily ladies getting together, old and young alike, and sharing their craft. And sometimes they'd sew together patchwork quilts. I had one when I was a child. It was a thick, heavy patchwork quilt. I wish I still had it. God, it was great. It was absolutely great. Yell, scream. It's something I'll never forget. I mean, it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just chilling. I mean, it's my last night. I had a great time just staying out away from everything. It was great. And I heard that and it changed everything. Sixth Sense, yeah, I've seen it. Indeed. Exactly. That's back in the day when they needed to communicate without other people knowing. Especially the slave owners. But when you feel like you're put in a box and left alone away from everybody else, and it's just how it feels. It's what happens after a while. I mean, it really does beat you down. It's a lonely existence. Hunters, fishermen, have encountered things out in the wild, and it's not always a cryptid. There's and what some of these so-called researchers don't seem to understand, that there's more out there than just the Sabe people. There's more out there. Other cryptids, if you want to call them that. I can't really. Cryptid is short for cryptozoology, and that's what they would label an undiscovered animal that falls under that category. But when I guess it's a force of habit that I want to stick that label on the Sabe people, that they're cryptids. They're not. From everything that I've read and heard, there are some rogue ones out there that just act totally nuts. And yes, to us, most of the time, they seem like they're very animalistic, but I think it's their primal nature. But they're not, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, they are not animals in the general sense of what we would normally label a creature as an animal. These are sentient. They're self-aware. They have a language. They have verbal communication. They have written communication in the form of these glyphs or whatever. They leave signs for whatever. Yes, indeed. Now, see, quilts and comforters, there's a difference, and yet they're same. But that comforter that patchwork quilt comforter was just heavy. Someone new in the chat, Ramona Shear. Yes, indeed. They are very intelligent. Very intelligent. As far as their surroundings of what I've seen, what I've noticed in my own investigations and research into the subject, I feel that they are on par with us as far as their intelligence goes. Not so much as far as the technology side. I don't think they can operate an iPhone. But I do believe given enough time, they could figure it out with a little help, All right. Welcome to this little fellowship over here at Raven's Outpost. I want to start, looking at a little lighter side of things And it's kind of hard to ignore everything that we've been talking about for the last 3-4 episodes. Just wanted to wrap it up. And I really think that if we were more okay, hold on, I gotta share this one. Look, okay, we're getting a little crazy here. Why not? Everybody thinks I'm nuts anyway. That's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. But I've thought about it. You know, clear my mind, center myself, get myself right, get that positive vibration going on. I'm out there in the woods. Next time I actually get out, and I'm actually out there doing something. When I get back out there, boots on the ground, just looking and putting more stuff out there, I've actually thought about that. I project the notion that, come on to the house. I know that sounds nuts, but peaceful intent, I would love to parlay. Just sit down, break bread, and share knowledge like we're doing now. I believe there's so much we can learn from them. I mean, we could share our knowledge with them, but I don't think they really give a damn. For the most part, for the most part, I really don't think they care. I completely feel you. I mean, if you're of the right mindset, I believe they will come to you. I think maybe they came to you in the first place. They can feel it. Their sixth sense, what we call that, their intuition. I believe through smell, vibrational frequency. You can sense intention. It's like how you can turn around and see where somebody's just staring a hole through you. Or Steve Isdall, I don't know if any of you guys saw the episode where he stalked the two boys out there on the freaking river, and he stayed hidden and he just glared at them, and you could see one of them boys looked right over in his direction. It was nuts. So yeah, Rick, you need to check that one out. It's just a brief stint he did at the beginning of one of the episodes. I can't remember exactly which one it was. And he did. He stalked these guys and he filmed it. He filmed the whole thing. But, of course he only hit the highlights because doing the whole thing would have took up a lot of time. But yeah. First encounters with them looking in your RV window. Holy crap. Where was this at? Do you mind me asking? That's true. That's true. Now, have you paid any attention to any of my previous videos? When I'm out there actually boots on the ground, I've been on a trail. I've been on a hiking trail quite often. And I have actually gotten, I've gotten film footage of me running into people on the trail or being slightly off trail and hearing people. And what really gets me is how wrapped up people can get in their own little world. I've been no more than maybe 15, 20 feet away from somebody, and they had no idea I was there. None. Just rolled right on by me like I wasn't even there. It's crazy. Folk, Arkansas, holy cow, 2 feet away. Holy moly. And they were just right outside your window in your RV. Whew. Damn. Yeah, my intent for this channel right here, going forward, is just to, help have a place, like a port in a storm. If you need to tell your story, if you want to tell your story, absolutely, come on. I think sharing it helps twofold. One, getting it out there, getting it off your chest, being able to get through it helps you psychologically. Okay? And sharing this information with other people also helps them. It's Steve calls it pieces of the puzzle, and that's exactly what it is. So, people getting together, you guys in chat, talking away, just share your experiences. And here, I don't care what it is. If you've had an encounter with spirits, if you have had encounters with ghosts, UFOs, whatever, I don't care. Because I just did a documentary involving a family that has had everything happening to them, and it just proved my hypothesis. My theory that everything is connected, that investigation, that short investigation that I did, it was there. I was there. I filmed their story. I took a look around, and then I did my own, underlying investigation, put everything together, and it just validated everything. It just brought everything together. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I've been talking about. Spirit activity, almost like poltergeist type activity. Sound familiar, anybody? Strange lights, UFOs, Sasquatch, animal mutilations. The whole freaking gambit. I have not talked to them in a little while. I figured I'd give it a while for things to either settle down or ramp up. I figure that within maybe next month I'll reach back out and see how things are going. It's kind of like overstaying your welcome. Like I said before, these people are simple, salt of the earth folk, and they just want to be left alone. Oh no. I hope everything's okay. Hope he's okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We've talked about this so many times here that it is connected. And this right here says it all. The veil is thinning. You see how, and things going on in the everyday circumstances. If you can get past what would be called the mainstream media, and through alternative news sources that actually report on the truth, outlets like Project Veritas, for instance. If you're not familiar with Project Veritas, I highly recommend you go check them out. But the veil is thinning, and you can see it. The evil that has stayed hidden and in the shadows for decades. For those of you out there who are tuning in after the fact and you've gotten this far, hey, look, the evil that's out there hadn't just popped up. It's been here for a long time, and it's been working behind the scenes in the shadows and fooling everybody. That's what they do. The mental part is some of the hardest stuff to get over. The physical stuff I can deal with. That's the part that I struggled with for a long time. Through a rotten divorce, and then losing my home and losing my dad. It just snowballed. Absolutely. Exactly. Yep. What is it? Tony Merkel always says when he signs off: "The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off." It's a fact. No truer words have been spoken, and it pisses you off on so many freaking levels, man. For years, I packed shit away. I harbored stuff. Um, there's a period of mourning we all must go through when we have a loss, and it doesn't matter what kind of loss that is. It doesn't actually have to mean the death of a person. It could be the death of a relationship, a very well-meaning relationship. If your body and soul dedicated to this relationship, and all of a sudden it goes sour and it's done, it's essentially dead, and you have to mourn. And if you don't give yourself time to mourn, it'll fester. If you pack it all away and sit on it, it eats at you like a cancer. And the same thing goes with the death of a loved one. If you don't deal with it physically and mentally, if you just pack it away, the same thing happens. And the same thing goes with these encounters with the paranormal, things that go outside the norm, things that people just don't normally run into, which is actually becoming more common now, because, like you said, Ramona, the veil is thinning, and it's starting to manifest more often. It's just my personal opinion. It's starting to manifest more often, and more people are coming forward. Indeed, pain is the teacher. It's up for us. It's up to us to actually learn the lessons that it's teaching. Sometimes it takes a while. It's sad to say. Sometimes you can get used to that pain to a certain degree. And in getting used to that pain, it dulls your senses to other things. It beats you down. The depression, anxiety, having to deal with bouts of PTSD. And that's not something I toss around just willy-nilly. I personally understand exactly what PTSD is. I understand it all too well. I'm actually in that stage right now, Ray. I packed everything away for so long that it ate me up. And it not only it affected me, it affected everyone around me. It has had an effect on my marriage, home life, family life, all of it. Because I did not deal with it when I should have. This is what I like to see. Oh, Lordy. I told the wife I was going to only go for an hour tonight, but I don't know. It's 51 minutes. Uh, 4 people here, 3 of you in the chat, having a great conversation. That's what I like to see. Hell yeah, that's what I like to see. People coming along, check out the channel. A nice quiet place to just chill, kick back, relax, and just tell your story. Whatever it may be. Son, that's the damn truth. Yeah, I love how the show, after a certain point, there's a certain turning point, a pivot point, if you will, when this show just takes on a mind of its own, and it does its own thing. I've gotten through my talking point. The subject tonight, and the journey of the lonely experiencer. And we're here for a reason. As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. And we need this communication. We need to put down the cell phones, walk away from the TV, step away from the computer for a while, get out and experience nature, get out and have FaceTime with other people. We've lost that as a society. And you see what has happened. Division and mistrust and hatred, all because you don't think a certain way. I like that. I like that a lot. Blasphemy, just pure blasphemy. This is great. Exactly. You know, there's an old saying, either lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. I mean, there's so many people out there who just walking around blind to so many different things and refuse to see the truth. They refuse to see it. I don't want to be the problem either. That's why this show is taking on a different mindset. And over the past couple of years since I started this channel, and I see how it's evolved. I mean, it's had its ups and downs. It's had its peaks and its highs, its lows, and I feel really comfortable in what it's evolved into now. when it was cryptids, myths, and mysteries, that was just, it was just something that I just come up with. I thought it sounded cool. There was no real meaning behind it. I wanted to start a channel. I didn't know what to call it. I said, well, how about this? It sounds pretty cool. Cryptids, myths, and mysteries. Okay, cool. It was more or less going to be a vlog for me that everybody could look at if they wanted to. But I soon realized that a lot of people actually paid attention to what the hell I was saying. And I'm like, do something meaningful with it. And there was a point in time when I went on hiatus and I didn't do anything with the channel for almost 5 months. Nothing. I'd upload something here or there, but I really didn't do anything with it. And I'm like, I got to do something here. Something more. And I just sitting around doing a lot of thinking about it. Raven's Outpost. Let's change the name. Let's make a big, bold move and change the name. Essentially, I'm starting over. Starting from scratch. According to the subscriber count, I've got 294 subs. Okay? But in reality, I might have 30 people, 40 people maybe tops that actually pay attention to the channel. Why is that? It's because a lot of people, and it's because my content was sporadic for such a long time. And I did such squirrely shit. I wanted to do something different, I did such squirrely shit before. Wasn't sure what to do with it. And like I said, the fact of the matter is most of these people have subbed, forgot about the sub, don't even get a notification, and when they do, they're like, and move on. That's okay. I completely get it. Let's go back to the chat. What are you guys saying? I've said this a lot. Rick, you going to say that ignorance is bliss, like they're trapped in the Matrix. And it's fact. And, absolutely right. Too many people have blinders on, and they're comfortable in their current state of existence. And honestly, I can't fault them for that. Really, I can't. I appreciate that, Rick. I appreciate that a lot. It's got more, for me personally, it has a lot more meaning to it. And, I just went back to Norse mythology because I was, really big into Norse mythology. And Odin's ravens. He sent them out to gather knowledge. And I've watched ravens and crows in the wild. I've had interactions with them, not directly, but they've watched me. They're sentinels. I've seen it happen. I've seen where the woods went deathly quiet. You know that stillness where nothing moves. Though the wind stops blowing, the crickets, the insects stop singing, the birds stop singing. It's just quiet, and sometimes it's like the creek. It's quiet, but then you hear the of the raven, and it's the only sound in the forest. It's like, what the? And it flew all over me. I'll show you guys something. Find my other one. There we go. Now, I have found these. Crow feather. Oh, a hawk feather. And, here we go, the raven feather. On my trail, on the way back, crows will tell every creature in the forest you're there. Absolutely, and that's what they meant to do. And it's my personal opinion, and just following wood knocks, following tree bends, signs of that nature, tracks, staying close to waterways, where I do believe they have a trackway. I honestly believe sometimes they actually use a walking trail that humans use. Path of least resistance. They're not stupid. The undergrowth around here is just nuts, and there where they can hide, there's a lot of laurel. Mountain laurel is incredibly thick, and you can get lost around here quick. You get into a patch of laurel and get covered up real good, you can get covered up quick, and you disappear. Completely disappear. And if it's true about what they say about their hair follicles being hollow and how it absorbs the light and refracts it, it's kind of like that shimmer you see around me right now. That is a lot of what people see. There's a lot of people see that shimmer, that what the hell? And they just disappear. Indeed, the mimic. Okay, right here, Eric. Ravens imitate sounds very well. As a matter of fact, they can sometimes sound better than a parrot, for the most part. I've heard them. And a lot of these sounds that are made in the woods could very well be a raven. Mm-hmm. You go back and look at some of my earlier videos. I have one. I have one where one bombed me, more or less. I mean, just swooped right over top of me, and with that low, I wish I could do it like way they did. I can't do it. I can't imitate it. And he was watching me. It was crazy. There's a difference in the sound of a raven and a crow. The crows have that caw, and the raven's sound is somewhat similar, but it's deeper and more of a got more of a honk to it. And they're bigger. Their intelligence has been graded, and they can be on par in intelligence with a 6 to 7 year old child, manipulating complex puzzles to find a solution to get to something. Go from one thing to another to get into a box, to get a component to open another lock, to get to another component to get that lock open on another box to get food. It's crazy. So I mean, I don't know that much about magpies. I'm just assuming them and ravens are fairly close in relation. And it's my theory that around here where I live, there's kind of a symbiotic relationship between some of the avian species and the like coyotes are the ground species. Oh yeah, we've got some really big owls around here too. A lot more now than there used to be. We used to hear what we call around here screech owls a lot. And they're a smaller type of barn owl. You know, they're not very big. But now we've got great horned owls around here. And they're pretty loud. They're pretty loud. But yeah, getting back to the subject at hand, this right here is what a lot of people need. Just to talk to somebody, have somewhere to go to, you know, fellowship. And that's what I like to call this as a fellowship here. Not a community. but a fellowship. Where we can sit around and, have in-depth conversations about certain subjects. And not be afraid to, tread those waters. Nothing's off the table here, as far as the paranormal goes. Yep. I've noticed that too. All the predatory birds are on the rise. And it used to be they were hard to see. It was rare you really saw one. But now, sometimes on my way home, there's a hawk that would just sit on the power line. He's got his favorite spot. He's got, at certain times of the day, this big old red-tailed hawk will just light on the power line and just sit there. I don't know what he's waiting on, but I don't know, maybe he just likes to watch the cars go by. It's around about the time when people are getting off work and, kids are coming home from school. That might be it. I don't know. It's weird. It's creepy. Nice. You're living in North Carolina now? Is that right? You even have some coming out of South America. Wonder what's making them migrate like that. What's pulling them here? I do, but I think they like to watch people. I guess that's why. I think that's why them and Sasquatch get along so well. I really do. Hawks, crows, ravens, coyotes. I honestly believe they all are kind of working in tandem with one another. You are. I mean, you're you're right next to me. Whoa. No, that's a problem. At that point, they start becoming a nuisance animal. They're as bad as freaking wolves. Brother, you are more than welcome. I got 6 slots I can put on here at one time. My nephew is supposed to be joining me Friday. I was going to try and get my buddy Buck to come on. Like I said, if you ever watch this, buddy, I'm probably going to give you a phone call or send you a text anyway. Hopefully maybe you can get on Friday too. But Rick, absolutely, man. Friday I'll be back here on StreamYard, and I will put a link in chat. And if any of you want to come back here, like I said, I've got 6 slots I can put on up here, aside from myself. Well, 5 rather, so 6 altogether. Anywho, now I got that out of the way. I can have 6 people on at a time, and we can have a hell of a conversation. Okay. All right. I'll get a hold of her too. Let's see if she'd be willing to come on. Um, it'd be interesting for her and Dylan to sit together and have a conversation about what happened in their house when they were kids. Jogging is a bad idea. Oh my gosh. Yes, indeedy. I'm going to get a hold of her first thing in the morning and see if she'd be willing to come on Friday night. Buck is very knowledgeable. He's a smart guy. He, I think it will be a good conversation. I've been trying like hell to get my other niece on. She's keeping a lot of stuff guarded, and she's had some experiences too that she doesn't like to talk about, but she's talked about with me, and I think it would be good for her to get on here and share her story and let other people know that they're not alone. Because I guarantee you there's other people who have had experiences something similar to hers. And I would love for her to share her story and get that out there and say, hey, come forward. Let's put these pieces of this puzzle together. Brian is a hoot. She is. She's a hoot. I love her to death. I love all them kids, though. I love them all. I've been wanting to go back over there and talk to Jeremy about his incident. I'm pretty sure it was a Sasquatch he saw. You can only convey so much through text. And just going back over his encounter and what he saw and all that, it's just like, it has to be a Sasquatch, I'm pretty sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Keeping all this stuff pent up, bottled up inside, and dealing with it on your own, it's rough. Getting out there, dealing with it. Get those emotions out. Set yourself free. Break free from the chains that are binding you to your situation. Because we're being held in captivity over this mess. I've been going through that too. Over other things. Now my paranormal encounter, I got out. My encounter with the Sabe people, I got out. There's other things that I've packed away and, just let ride that I shouldn't have. And Ray, you're right. We do. We do need like-minded people. Well, I would like to see I'd like to see this channel grow and expose other people who are maybe open to the idea, but who are, kind of skeptical, and bring them into the fold. And, let them share their knowledge. Maybe they have had some type of experience that they really weren't aware of. There's a lot of people that are like that. They will have an experience and just dismiss it, and for some reason, someone will tell a story and they'll be like, "Huh, I'll be damned." I believe it's more prevalent than society wants us to believe. I mean, there's the powers that be in society want us all to believe it's just a fanciful TV show with a lot of special effects. But when everything is happening in real time, and there's no electricity, no wires, and nothing, and shit's moving around, strange lights are being shown all over the place, and sounds that cannot be made by any physical being that you know of. Yeah, that's when it gets real. And that's when you realize all this Hollywood magic doesn't stand up. It doesn't cut the mustard to the real thing. Yeah. And my wife will tell you this. She's been witness to this a couple of times. I say a couple of times. It's like it was more like 2 dozen since we've been together, and we've been together over 10 years now. I have had these reoccurring dreams, and I will wake up choking. I know I've swallowed something. Something's been shoved down my throat, and I'm choking, gasping for air. That's something I have not had. Thank the Lord. Sleep paralysis is something I have not had. My encounters with ghosts, poltergeists, some of them have run the gamut of being malevolent to benign. I'm sure that spirit is responsible for my house getting burned up several years ago. That's been, gosh almighty, it's been almost 20 years ago. That's crazy. That's crazy. January of 2004. 18 years ago. So, here's something that we've talked about too. Looking at the similarities. This is what I've been talking about. Look at how many similarities we have here. I mean, it's not all the same, but it's close enough to where we can say, damn. Like I said, I have not had the sleep paralysis. I don't know what that feels like. And for all accounts and purposes, from what I know of it, I praise Jesus that I have not had to deal with that. I'd probably lose my shit. Ramona, if you're not busy Friday night, I will be on at midnight, same time. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I will be live. Hopefully I'll have either Buck or Brianna with me, maybe. I'm almost positive I've got my nephew Dylan nailed down to where he'll be on Friday. I sent out the invitation to him to come on tonight, but he was busy. It was short, last-minute stuff. Yeah. It's scary, man. That the choking sensation, just feeling that death is right around the corner. I mean, literally, just waiting for you to trip on his scythe and him to capture and collect your soul and take it wherever he takes you. Oh. Well, you take your trip to Texas and maybe you can tune in and listen. I don't know. I am about ready to call it a night. I've got to get up and put my son on the bus in the morning. And this is another thing that I want to talk about. I've talked about before, and I ramble a lot. I don't have a whole lot of focus sometimes, and if I don't have structure to what I'm doing, I'll just my conversation goes from high to low to high to low to somewhere in the middle, and it's just all over the freaking place. But I've talked about this before. Once again, Ray, you hit the nail on the head. I believe the invocation can be brought forth if your belief is strong enough. And that goes back to power of prayer and group think. Not so much group think, but kind of like a hive mind where everybody's thinking the same thing. And the manifestations of certain things, which, have been called, is the Tibetan word for it is the tulpa. And if enough people have put their belief and their idea into a certain thing, it's a possibility. It's been theorized that it can bring it forth, evoke it, and bring it into existence. And I think that's where a lot of these sightings of this creature called the rake comes from. Now, the rake was originally a creepypasta tale. That's it. I can trust one of you guys to straighten my hind end out with the right words that I was looking for. Collective consciousness. That's it. And you see it. You can feel it. I've seen other people talk about how after Trump was elected in office, and I truly believe it's not so much him as he was a result of people saying I've had enough of the bullshit. But people say that they have noticed a change in the energy. It's like a giant switch has been flipped and everything's changing and moving at such a rapid pace. Very few folk are conscious anymore. Yeah. Most of the tulpa are manifestations of the mind in the mind. But there are times when the tulpa takes on a physical, according to some scholars, I guess, historians, experts in that field. There are some times when the tulpa take on an actual physical manifestation. But the tulpa is generally just a personal thing. It's in your mind, and it's your own personal spirit or guide, according to what I've read. Yeah, Reagan was a speed bump. Then Bush Sr. got in office, and we all know what an evil bastard he was. And then his son got in office, and after Clinton, and the line of debauchery continued. Debauchery and warmongering. Folks, guys, this has been fun. This has been good. This has been good for me. I hope it's been good for you guys. Ramona, I hope everything works out with you. I'm going to be praying for your husband. That everything goes okay. That's some scary shit. That's some scary shit to go through. Ray Baby Bush was still driven by Daddy Bush. Freaking that I believe that dumb hayseed act that he put on, that he was just a little stupid, was a complete act. Guys, I appreciate you coming by here. To each and every one of you out there who tune in late after the live stream is over with, and you've made it this far, thank you for sticking around. And I hope you come back. I hope you become part of this fellowship. And, let's make this channel grow. and get the word out there. Maybe we can get more people here who have similar experiences and can share their knowledge. And it's good to get this out. It's healthy. It's more. It's better to get this out than leave it in. It will destroy you if you let it. So if you're out there and you have an experience, you have something you need to get off your chest, something you get that's weighing heavy on your mind, I don't care what type of paranormal experience it was. This is no longer a Bigfoot channel. It's not just for cryptids anymore. It's not. It's for everything. And if you paid attention, if you've gotten this far, you understand we talk politics too, to a certain degree. And it's only politics as it pertains to just normal everyday life that affects us all. And no political party has been mentioned here other than they all suck. You're right, Ray. And you will be among fellow experiencers here. If you have an experience, you have something you need to get off your chest. We all have had something happen to us in some form or fashion. That's right. That's right, Ray. That's what makes this place safe. You don't have to worry about ridicule. You don't have to worry about somebody looking down on you. I have enough crazy-ass stories to tell to where sometimes even I look back on it as, man, I'll tell this to somebody, I'm going to look crazy as hell. That's fine. I can tell them here and I don't have to worry about nothing. Don't have to worry about that. It's therapeutic all the way around. And tonight, it was something I needed to get off my chest. It's something I needed to share with each and every one of you. To be open, to be transparent, and to let you know that the Ravens Outpost is a center for knowledge, is a center for healing, and it's a center for fellowship. Rick, I have not experienced a water cryptid either. Nessie is far out of my, or Champ is far out of my wheelhouse. I have no idea what that is. Once again, I say, and this right here, if you look at chat, here we go. See, it's here. But we're not judging. We're not here to judge. At all. That's right, Ray. We compare data. We see what fits. And if there's a piece of a puzzle that doesn't quite fit, we don't throw it out. We file it away. We don't forget. I go through, if you've got the library, use it. Sasquatch Chronicles. This channel. You look at the Outlaws. I mean, I'm just going over the gambit here. of different avenues. Okay. The confessionals, a lot like this channel, is centered on the paranormal as a broad spectrum. Tell your story, whatever it is. Whatever it is. What type of situations you've been into. If you've been into the occult. I've been down that road when I was younger and, was seeking some type of knowledge. If you've been involved in the occult, you've had any type of paranormal experience, here is where you can come to and talk about it. There's a lot of other places out there where you can go and listen to stories. And I hate using that word story because it's really, to most people that implies it's a work of fiction. If you give your account of your own experience, that helps a lot of people, including you. It's helped me. Here you go, folks. That's right. The awareness, just the awareness alone, planting that seed of knowledge to give you an edge. Forewarned is forearmed. And knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe. Not to make light of it. We're not always all serious here. But we're serious enough in this where we're not fooling around. We don't make people feel uncomfortable here. Take a look at chat. Yeah. Divination. Invocation, spells, all kinds of stuff. Made my own talisman, all kinds of other stuff. It is what it is. Nothing is off the table here. Sex magic is very, very powerful. Very powerful. There's a sacrifice there. There's a type of blood sacrifice there. And usually during these big covens get together and they have these big orgies. There's a meaning to it. There's a reason behind it. It's not just the sex, it's power. there's the power to invoke something very powerful in return. I'm very, very familiar with Aleister Crowley. Exactly. That release of energy is a very powerful conduit. I'm very familiar with the occult. I'm not a stranger to it at all. You learn something new every day, Kimosabi. No, this shit's real. I mean, there are people who will scoff at it all day long, but you look at what's going on in, just as you call it, that's what I like to call it, Hollyweird. Why are there so many cases of pedophilia? Why is there such a rampant epidemic proportions of child trafficking going on in this nation? Thousands of children were saved in 2019. Thousands were saved from human sex traffickers. What were they doing with these children? Once again, that magic is very powerful, very dark. Oh, Rick, you're killing me. You're killing me. Yeah, same here. That right there is something I can't say one way or the other. I do find that it's really suspect. I don't believe it was an accident for a live round to be put in that pistol. I don't believe that one bit. But I don't know all the facts. But I do know that Alec Baldwin is an asshole. Never have liked that guy. Something about him's always rubbed me the wrong way, and well, yeah, I know why now. For real. Kundalini. Yes, indeed. Yep. Yep. They're on two different spectrums, but they're still there. part of the same cog. Yeah, a couple of those Baldwin brothers, they're not like him and us. The other one that looks just like him. I can't keep them straight. All right. Yeah, I couldn't keep it. I couldn't keep it in an hour. I couldn't keep it in an hour and a half. It's 2 hours again. You guys keep me rolling. It's been a good chat. Adam isn't related? Okay. But it's been a good, like I said, it's been a good chat, and I hope everybody out there who's tuning in late and got here this far comes back. Friday night, we're going to have another big conversation, a discussion about whatever comes up. I do want to ask my nephew about his trip through the haunted house in Vegas. I'm gonna save some of the details for Friday. I'm hoping maybe I can get either my buddy Buck or my niece Brianna on here too, so we can have another big conversation, a round table, if you will, and everybody. Ramona, Ray, Rick, my fellowship, my trio. Truth. I did an 8-hour show without anybody. Luckily, luckily I didn't have to suffer through that. Knights of the Ravens Table. I like it. I want to ponder. The Trinity. Indeed. We are, aren't we? You guys are usually always here. And I do appreciate that so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. And there I am, fading in and out again. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to an end of another great episode. Good discussion. Got some stuff off our chest. Hopefully open some doors for some people who would like to come in and spread the love, if you will. And Friday night, like I said, we'll be back to do it all again. And the beak of the raven. You guys are great. Each and every one of you who stopped by and are faithful and coming by and listening to what I have to say and just listen to each other. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. Till next time, everybody. I love you, mean it. Good night.